Hi, Omeakios here again with another Digimon card game deck profile. So this time I'm showing a new deck that I haven't shown on this channel before, but I have been working on this deck for a while actually. This kind of a prototype version obviously because in PD17 the deck will have a new evolution line, so that kind of changed the deck quite a bit. But for now, this is how the deck looks right now. So let's go to the deck. So first, this is Thomas, the 4 PT12 Koromon. So obviously this deck is more of a yellow base version, so that's why I'm using the yellow Koromon, and I think it has a very useful inherited effect. Then you're using 4 PT12 Saber Zagumon. So basically it has a pretty good on play ability, as well as the inherited effect is really good as well obviously. Then I'm using 4 PT13 Agumon. Definitely really good as well. Of course, it can make one of your Masarus and Digimon. Obviously I'm calling the tamer Masara because I only watched the Japanese version of Digimon Sabers, and Digimon Sabers is actually my favorite Digimon anime ever. So of course whenever it says Marcus Daimon, I always say Masaru instead. So definitely Masaru Daimon is in the Japanese name. So inherited effect is actually pretty good as well. Definitely very nice. Then I use 4 EX4 Agumons. Pretty good as well. But this is probably the one that is the most replaceable. Probably replace it with like P16 Agumons, because it actually kind of a little bit supports this deck as well as the P17 Agumon that is going to come out in that set. But still it's pretty decent, I would say. Then I'm using 4 P12 ShineGreymon. Definitely really good as well. Can play one of your Masarus for free, so definitely it's pretty nice and really good inherited effect as well. Then I'm using 4 of the EX4 ShineGreymons. Pretty good, has pretty much all the same abilities the EX4 Agumon has, so definitely pretty nice. But again, probably replace it with at least 2 of them will be replaced by the PD17 ShineGreymon. Then I'm using the 1 PD13 ShineGreymon because it is currently limited to 1 copy, which obviously I guess makes sense. Definitely is a very nice card. Then I'm using 4 of the PD13 ShineGreymon. That is definitely very important for a deck which can play your Masarus for free, as well as it has both the regular ability as the inherited effect, that if one of your red or yellow tamers gets deleted, you can put one Masaru from the trash to your top of the security stack, so then it recovers your tamers basically. Definitely very good. Then I'm using 4 of the PD12 ShineGreymons. Not as good as the PD13 one, and probably might replace 2 of these with the PD17 ShineGreymon, or even if the ShineGreymon X potentially, but right now I don't have that card. Then I'm using 4 PD13 ShineGreymon. I think this is actually the better ShineGreymon, I think, overall for controlling the game at the start art. It can of course make one of your Masarus a Digimon when you evolve into it, or at the start of your main phase. Definitely is very nice. When your tamers get suspended, you can minus 6000 to one of your past Digimon. Definitely very nice. Then I'm using 2 of the P12 ShineGreymons, always the more expensive one. But this is the ShineGreymon you want more when you already have the setup to finish out your plant. You have all of the tamers and already activated and stuff like that. Definitely a very nice card for that. And then of course I'm using the 2 ShineGreymon Burst Mode. Obviously you're going to finish out the game with this card in most cases if you have access to it. I definitely can run the PD17 ShineGreymon Burst Mode. Ace, obviously at least 1 copy of that. But I'll probably keep this one at 2, most likely. Then obviously tamers and options. So I'm using the 4 P12 Masarus. So this obviously is the best one. It was speculated it's going to be limited going to get limited, but it didn't, thankfully, because this is pretty much the key card of the deck. It's the only Masaru that can make itself a Digimon. Definitely very important for that. And of course, you can freely evolve into your Greymons as well if this card gets suspended. So definitely very good for that. Then I'm using 4 BD13 Masarus. Pretty good as well. It's also a memory tamer. A pretty nice ability as well when it gets suspended. But of course it can't make itself a Digimon. You have to use other effects to make it a Digimon. And then I'm using 2 PD4 Masarus. Definitely a little bit of a weird choice, but I made my testing. I found out that you need access to your tamers, otherwise you can't really advance your game state, more or less. You actually mostly attack with your tamers that you make that become Digimon rather than your actual Digimon. So having more tamers is very important. And obviously the only other one we have is this one, because the BT17 Masaru is not out yet. So obviously I'm going to replace it with that once that set comes out. But right now we have to use this. Then I'm using 2 Final Shine Burst. It's actually really good removal in this deck, and works really well in combination with the inherited effects of your other Digimon as well. And of course, as a bonus, you get to play a tamer for free as well. Then another card that's limited to 1 copy per deck is 1 Sunrise Poster. Obviously, it was abused in other like yellow-based decks in the past, and of course, it's really good in this deck as well. So this was my ShineGreymon Digimon card game deck profile. I think this deck is still really good even now, but of course it's not really top tier anymore at all. It's more of a decent rogue deck, obviously, but I definitely really enjoy playing with this deck for sure. So I hope you enjoyed this Digimon card game deck profile. For now, goodbye and Omikos out.